Welcome to Coffee and a Weather Map with Jeff. This is a special one here that I'm going to do. It's kind of entitled, Why I Don't Worry About Long-Range Model Data. It's not that I don't look at it. It's not that we can't prepare based on it. But this goes back to a thing that I've had, and I always say it jokingly through the years when I was doing spotter talks with the Weather Service. I don't take my own forecasts past 3 days seriously. It's not that I don't seriously forecast out that far. It's just that the computer models can tend to lead you astray, and we end up with wildly different ideas based off of 1 week out versus 3 days out versus the next 24 hours out. Things are improving. That's not the... And eventually maybe we can get down into the last 24 hours or go out 7 days and pick up things that aren't there, especially now with AI. But the main thing to remember is that whatever you start seeing on the models out past 3 days is kind of like Fantasyland, or as a forecaster when I worked at AccuWeather used to say, it's just lines on paper, because back then we used to post everything on paper, all the models and things. And then there was only 4. Now we have so many more models to look at. So a case in point, I figured I would kind of do a review of what happened a couple of years ago when we were in Corpus Christi and we had Hurricane Beryl moving towards us. So the snapshots that I have of the NHC forecasts start when it's already gone through Jamaica and the Caribbean and is going across the Yucatan Peninsula. So at 1 p.m. Friday, the track, as you see, actually looks like it's going to be just north of Brownsville. Could actually impact Brownsville almost head on before curving up the coast. That got us concerned. We lived in an RV, and so we had to make sure that it was out, and that we had a decision to make as we continued to live in it. Do we bail out to the west? Because it looked like things were going to recurve. So I was pretty confident on that part of the track. As we get up to 4 p.m. on Friday, just as it's about ready to move off of the Yucatan Peninsula, the track shifts. And now it's going up into just south of Corpus Christi Bay and north of Baffin Bay. That's not a good thing for us. Our RV may be 13,000 pounds, but a serious 70 to 80 mile an hour wind gust with a hurricane could, potentially roll it. Not to mention the fact that some of that area was low lying and there could be flood issues from just the storm surge inundation. So we started to think and plan. The next model run came out, and at 7 p.m. as it's just going off of the Yucatan, it still has that same basic idea, only now it's going right through Corpus Christi Bay. Move ahead to 1 a.m. on Saturday. I'm asleep at home, and we're making a decision, and now it's moved up the coast a little bit. It's up to around San Antonio Bay or Copano Bay, which are the next 2 bays up the coast from Corpus Christi. But that still puts us in a danger zone because the wind gusts there are still going to be, especially as a possible Cat 2, maybe 3 at the time, because that was one of the things that we were looking at, that we would still get those high wind gusts that could possibly roll the trailer and cause problems, bring down tree limbs, things like that, and do damage. So we had to make a decision. So we made a decision during my next day off, or not day off, my next 12 hours off, because we work 12 and 12 during tropical storms in the Gulf. We ended up going and bailing out to the west to Catula, where I left the trailer, my wife, and my dog out there in an RV park for 4 days while I hunkered down in the office and continued to forecast for Beryl. And I slept there in the office. So by 4 a.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. Saturday, then we started seeing a little bit more of a north eastern turn, so that it's getting closer to Matagorda Bay. Now, we were still in the danger zone in the Corpus Christi area. Then they start putting out the first watches. In this case, it's a tropical storm watch, or tropical storm warning. Sorry about that. We already had a hurricane watch up for most of the area. Tropical storm warning down in the Brownsville forecast area and into parts of Mexico. By 1 p.m. on Saturday, we still are seeing that bit of a shift. It's still right over San Antonio and right in between San Antonio and Copano Bay, which are just north of Corpus Christi Bay. So we're still in the danger zone, still expecting at least a Cat 2 hurricane as it comes in. They put the hurricane warning out 4 p.m. on Saturday. I was there in the office when we did that with the Hurricane Center. 10 p.m., things still looked like about the same. I was sleeping there in the office. 4 a.m. on Saturday or Sunday, then we started to see more of a change. Now we had the track going through northern Matagorda Bay. That's a whole nother bay north, probably at least another 50 miles. And now Corpus Christi Bay is completely out of the cone of uncertainty. Would winds get that strong down there? Probably not. You know, we might see 35 gusts to 45, 50. The trailer could handle that, but we were already committed with Mary and the dog out in Catula. By 10 a.m. on Saturday, or Sunday, I'm sorry, we continue up the hurricane going into Matagorda, the northern part of Matagorda Bay. And then that's where the models kind of held on to. It was just on that northern side of Matagorda Bay by 4 p.m. Sunday, and then it made landfall around 4 a.m. on Monday. So you can see all these people who put all that information out there with these hurricanes when it's 7 to 14 days out. That's what gets me. The models are not that good, and even in that short time frame of what we were looking at, the model track changed within the last 3 days. So be prepared, but don't take these scare tactics and clicks too seriously. Thanks.